And our lead this hour coming from La La Land. Our in-depth team coverage continues around the clock. Super Bowl winning coach Sean McVay still debating what he is going to do. All quiet on the Western Front? Well, not quite. Will he stay as coach of the Rams or quit and run off to the broadcast booth for a better quality of life? Now, if you've not heard the latest here, perhaps not. There have been a couple of new wrinkles here. Don't worry. We know you're busy. We got your back on this one. So we have learned that Sean McVay, the head coach of the LA Rams, back in the day, you could ram it all day, you could ram it all night. Sean McVay has granted all of his assistant coaches, anyone that works for the Rams, who's under the umbrella of Sean McVay, is free to spread their wings and fly around the country. They have been given permission to seek jobs elsewhere, even if it is a lateral move, meaning they are not getting a promotion. Now, typically, we follow football, and we know that the way this has always worked, that NFL teams generally do not allow coaches to make lateral moves, meaning they're taking the same job with someone else. But Sean McVay is like, oh, yeah, if you're my defensive backs coach and you want to be a defensive back coach for the Atlanta Falcons, go knock yourself out. Do whatever you want. Now, McVay is actually under contract with the Rams through the 2026 season. But he doesn't seem to want to coach the Rams anymore. All indications are. So let us discuss the question on this one. Here's the question. What does this latest move tell us about Sean McVay's mindset? It's kind of obvious, isn't it? I've got Dashboard, George Lucas, and Hello Kitty. And we will lock all of these things together, and we're going to make newbies. What a great night. It's newbie night on the show. All right, so number one. So this McVay story, this latest chapter in the soap opera, tells us one of two things. Either Coach McVay thinks that his staff is filled with village idiots, and there's not one coach worthy of sticking around, and he wants to blow up the whole thing and bring in all new assistant coaches, or he's already decided that he's going to leave, and he's afraid to make the announcement, but he simply wants to make sure that all of his friends find a safe landing space. It's one of those two things. Now, we're leaning towards the latter on that. McVay right now is spinning into butter as he tries to decide his next move. But this is a dead giveaway. It is a dead giveaway. If you're driving along the turnpike and you see the yellow light flashing on the dashboard, that's what it sounds like. Chances are there's something wrong with the engine. You probably should get it looked at and maybe even pull off the road there. Get the engine checked out. It's a key indicator of a bigger problem, and that's what's going on right now in Ramland. Now, page 2. Why is Sean McVay doing all of this seemingly for the cameras? It's all playing out. It's not behind closed doors. He's not keeping this private. It's not in the inner circle. So my theory on that is when in Rome, act like a Roman, and when in Los Angeles, act like an Angelino, and make it all about you. Egomaniac. That's what you got to do in L.A., right? That's how that town operates. McVay is taking advantage of the spotlight. And this is becoming a Shakespearean drama. I hate it. And as much as we goof on Aaron Rodgers, who does the same thing with Green Bay, I used to do this job when Brett Favre was doing this nonsense back also in Green Bay. I don't like it. It's despicable. It is despicable. And it's milking the cow is what it is. The Rams coach here has put a clothesline up from one end of the valley to the other end of the valley, and he's letting everyone see all the dirty laundry. Now, it's great for those of us that do talk radio, but it's also annoying at the same time. McVay doing his meditation, his introspection. It's like a streaming show on Netflix. Now, my theory is that Sean McVay is going George Lucas on the NFL, as in Star Wars. Now, what do I mean by that? Right? Like McVay does want to do television. He truly wants to do TV, but there's that little guy on his shoulder, right? You know, you got that voice in your head. The great Gazoo is on his shoulder, and that voice is like, well, wait a minute here. I wanna do TV, but if some other NFL team would sweep me off my feet, I could coach another team. I could do that. Why not? His mentor is John Gruden. John Gruden was traded, and it certainly worked out well for John Gruden when he got to his new team. And so he's planting the seed here, to use a Star Wars analogy, a Jedi mind trick. He's implanting, McVay, the suggestion into the minds of the aristocrat owners. And in turn, one, possibly a playoff team, can make others comply, right? I mean, if you're using a real Jedi mind trick, right? You toss that out, and one of the owners complies, and your wish comes true. Now, is it possible that team that McVay is eyeing has a star on their helmet? All right, let's say the Dallas Cowboys, imagine, if you will, a world which is really hard to believe that the Cowboys go out there and drop a deuce on the field in Tampa, and the Buccaneers somehow win a mistake-filled game, and Dak Prescott, who leads the NFL in interception, throws a couple of picks on Wild Card Monday, and then Jerry Jones puts down the minibar and excommunicates Mike McCarthy from Dallas. They then need a coach, and Sean McVay, who's under contract with the Rams till 2026, imagine, if you will, if Jerry Jones called up Stan Kroenke and says, hey, Stan, I got you that deal in L.A. You wanted out of St. Louis. I helped make sure everything was great for you with that SoFi Stadium, and now you've made even more money. I need a coach, and you got a coach, and I want your coach. And then they work out a deal. And let's say the Cowboys, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you lose in the playoffs. Do you trade the number one pick, the 26th overall pick, and a third-round pick, let's say the 90th pick, which is what Dallas has? You trade a first and a third-round pick to L.A. for the rights to Sean McVay. Like, who says no to that? If you're the Cowboys, if you're the Rams, and McVay he doesn't have the work ethic, he doesn't have the grit to continue on with the Rams, and he wants to go and take a shortcut. Why you would want to coach Dak Prescott, God only knows. But if that's the case, that's a win-win. All right, final point. So in a larger sense, right, if the Cowboys don't call, or a high-profile team does not call, should the Rams ownership throw down the gauntlet and put a deadline in place for Sean McVay to decide? And you can't see me, but I'm nodding my head yes, because this is turning into a toxic relationship. And someone, whether it's Stan Kroenke or someone in the organization, needs to be the grown-up in the room here. And listen, McVay's a great coach, and I wish him nothing but the best. But if he's not into it anymore, and he's just not the guy, there are plenty of other people that can coach, and some of them might even be able to win in L.A. with the Rams. It's like McVay is not the only guy. And if he no longer has the taste to coach the Rams, then get somebody who does, because there'll be a line around the building to take that job. And right now, the Rams are being treated like a Hello Kitty kite. They're at the mercy of the wind, and Sean McVay is controlling everything, the gusts of wind. He wants to leave. He doesn't want to leave. He can't make his mind up. Now, Bill Parcells, who gets quoted all the time by guys my age who remember Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells, the old NFL coach back in his era, he used to say that if you thought about something like retirement or leaving a job, you've already done it. All right? If you thought about stepping out, you've already done it. McVay, the millennial in him, right? Millennial in him is the artisan who wants to practice what all of his friends are. I mean, think about McVay and growing up and in high school. I bet you all of his buddies probably have had 7 or 8 jobs by now, and they've bounced around. McVay's had a few jobs, but he's got a stable gig with the Rams. But the art of job hopping, don't have enough perks, You need that work-life balance, right? Just to change jobs, right? When the going gets tough, you hitchhike out of Dodge. Man, I wish I was from that generation. I'm from the generation like where I was like, you got a job to do, you got to keep doing it, right? You got to put your head down, and you have to finish what you start, and you do what has to be done. But man, I missed out on that. My life would be so much more fun if I was like, if something's uncomfortable and I need a work-life balance, I'll just, I'll just quit. I'll just do something else. Man, that's got to be fun, right? Just change jobs every couple of years, and you get more money and more perks and all that stuff. I'm going to be upset with my parents now thinking back on it, because I was raised that, no, you got to put your head down, and when things look bleak, make them better, right? Job's not good, make the job better. Man, it'd be more fun the way this is going right now.